a draw, and they're both doing playoffs and trying to get the goals in, whatever it is, I'm a girl. Didn't work too well, she was all about that, shouldn't I? Okay, so after 3, round of applause and cheering Okay, guys, that's what we want. We want to keep that going, so let's start the applause for me. Start the applause. Second Champion, please come and please welcome Lisa Ramsden.
I'm actually used to something a bit thicker there. My husband paid me to say that. Good evening, I'm Lisa. It's so good to be here tonight among civilised society. And I've just come back for a week at Butlins, so to me you are civilised society. I knew that I'd been at Butlins too long when I started feeling the urge to go native. You know what I mean? Orange tan, baked lashes and the vajazzle. I'm actually still tempted on the vajazzle, but don't I'm married to Pete. We met in Cumbria, where men are hard and sheep are scared. I didn't realise his fondness for sheep until one night. It was early on in our relationship, and he was round at 9, and it was definitely early on because he'd had a wash, and I had matching underwear on. I thought I got lucky. Anyway, Saturday night, and he was watching Match of the Day, and I thought, I'm not having this. But I thought I'd use my womanly charm to distract him. And it seemed to be working. He seemed to be getting a little bit excited. Oh, I'm in here. Until I followed his gaze and saw that it wasn't my womanly charms that was doing it, but John Motson's sheepskin coat. When I first met Pete, I said to him, "Your name, Pete, it reminds me of the stuff you put on flower beds." And he just smiled at me and said, "Aye, I'm perfect for riding to bed too, love." I think that was his chat-up line. I must say it did work. And so it got me thinking recently about my name, Lisa. So I said to him, Pete, when you think of Lisa, what do you think of? And he thought about it for a minute, and then he said, local integrated software architecture. He is a bit of a geek, a computer geek. And so I was like, obviously not very flattered by that. You are? And he says, you know, the end user interface to computers, like Windows. What? And how exactly is that like me? Well, intelligent. Okay. Sophisticated. Fair enough. And you have a habit of going down on me when I least expect it. Things like that are months in the planning now. One thing about me is that I really do like a drink. You know, just 1 or 2 just to loosen up, or maybe 5 or 6. I could really do with a drink now. I could really do with a bit of loosening up. And there have been a couple of times, and you will find this hard to believe, there have been a couple of times when I have got absolutely shit-faced. And it has got me into quite a bit of trouble. There was one time on our wedding anniversary, and he took me out for a lovely meal, and he got me drunk. It was his fault. I think he thought if he got me drunk, he'd be on a promise. And anyway, the end of the night comes, and we walk home, and I put down the fact that I couldn't walk properly to my high heel shoes. So I took them off, but it still didn't improve matters much. And after a 4-mile walk, but we only live a quarter of a mile from the pub, and we arrive at our house. Now we've got a gravel drive, and I had bare feet. But I knew that if I walked on the gravel drive, my bare feet were going to hurt, because I was drunk, but I wasn't that drunk. Actually I was. But I looked at the drive, I looked at my feet, and I looked at Pete. I looked at the drive again, looked at my feet, and looked at Pete. I think I was expecting him to sweep me up in his arms and carry me across the threshold. But it's quite a long drive, and I'm quite a big girl. And so I think he thought, I'm not going to risk putting my back out. So he said, I'll go inside and I'll get you a pair of flat shoes, and then you can walk over the drive and be sorted. Fair enough. But whilst he's gone, I'm thinking, I'm going to go pratty. I should just put my shoes on and walk over the drive. So I bend down to put my shoes on, and I can feel myself going. And the first thing that comes into my head is, don't put your wrists out, don't put your arms out, because you'll break your wrists. So I didn't. I did fall flat on my face, and Pete didn't get lucky that night, and for a few nights afterwards either, because I did look like Hitler afterwards. And there was another occasion, well, drinking, it can loosen you up, but it can also get you a bit confused, can't it? And there was one occasion when Pete, forever the gentleman, picked me up after a night out with the girls, and it did get a bit messy. I was in the car, and so was Pete, because he was driving. In fact, I need to swap now, because we have whatever hand to drive car it is. So I'm in the car, and in my drunken stupor, I thought, oh, bless him. So I put my hand out on his leg to stroke his thigh to thank him for coming to pick me up. And I felt something quite large and hard on his leg. I thought, I'm in here. And so I squeezed, and then I thought, oh, this is nice. So I looked at him and smiled, but I had had quite a few drinks, which was probably more of a, And so I looked at him, and he looked back at me and smiled. And I thought, oh, I'm definitely in. So I squeezed a bit harder. And imagine my disappointment when I got home, and it wasn't what I thought, but his old Nokia phone in his pocket. Gutted I was. That's my tip for you gentlemen, that's how you impress the ladies, have a Nokia phone in your pocket. Because no matter what people tell you, size does matter. My time is up, and I'm desperate for a drink now, having been friend all evening. So I'm going to go and have a drink. You've been great. Thank you very much. Good night.